Inside an ant colony, there's a secret most people will never discover. The queen just died, and the colony doesn't know yet. For hours, sometimes days, tens of thousands of ants keep working, building, feeding larvae, defending the nest, as if nothing happened. And that's exactly what makes this story unsettling. Because when the queen dies, it's not the end of the colony. It's the beginning of something far stranger. Think about it this way. Imagine an entire company still operating, making decisions, hitting targets, without anyone realizing the CEO is gone. That's exactly what's happening beneath your feet right now. But what comes next, when the colony finally realizes, will completely change the way you see these creatures. The queen isn't just the one who lays eggs. She's the nervous system of the entire colony. She releases pheromones, invisible chemical signals, that regulate the behavior of every ant around her. Calm, order, direction. While those signals are in the air, the colony functions like a single, perfect organism. But when those signals disappear, something breaks. And what breaks first isn't what you'd expect. It's not panic, it's not chaos. The first sign that something is wrong is chemical silence. The ants keep moving, but they start behaving slightly differently, almost imperceptible to human eyes. They seem disoriented, like they're waiting for an instruction that simply never comes. And here's something few researchers anticipated. Some colonies collapse completely within 3 months of the queen's death. Others survive for years. The difference between them comes down to something that happens in the first few days. And that specific mechanism is what makes this story genuinely fascinating. When the queen dies, royal pheromone levels drop gradually. Not all at once. Slowly, like a candle burning out. And as that signal weakens, some ants begin to sense it before the others. The oldest workers, the ones who stayed closest to the queen. They're the first to notice something has changed. And what they do next is, scientifically, one of the most remarkable things ever observed in insects. They start laying eggs. Wait, workers aren't supposed to be able to do that, right? That's where the story gets interesting. Most worker ants are born with functional ovaries. But while the queen is alive, her pheromones biologically suppress that capacity. They literally inhibit the reproductive development of every other ant around her. It's hormonal control at a collective scale. The queen doesn't rule through force, she rules through chemistry. And when that chemistry disappears, the hierarchy begins to dissolve in ways researchers are still working to fully understand. The workers that begin laying eggs are called gamergates in some species, or simply reproductive workers. But there's a problem. They can only produce unfertilized eggs, which means those eggs can only produce males, not new workers, not a new queen, only males. And males in an ant colony have one biological function: reproduction. They don't work, they don't build, they don't defend. So when workers start producing males without control, the colony begins consuming resources without generating new labor. It's like a company that only hires executives and stops hiring workers entirely. But there's a way out. And it's far more impressive than simply waiting for chaos to take over. Some colonies have an emergency mechanism that sounds like something out of science fiction. And it involves one of the most brutal stories in all of nature. In certain species, when the queen dies, selected workers begin feeding specific larvae a completely different diet. Richer, more targeted, and those larvae develop in ways the others never would. They become queen candidates, princesses essentially, generated not by chance, but by the collective decision of the colony. Think about what that means. There's no individual ant making that call. There's no leader saying, "You transform that larva." It's distributed intelligence, a system reacting as a whole, without any single part knowing the full plan. But creating a new queen candidate is only half the process. What happens next is where the brutality comes in. When multiple princesses emerge at the same time, they kill each other, literally. The first to hatch will often seek out the others, still in their cocoons, and eliminate them before they can emerge. In some species, workers actively participate in this process, deliberately choosing which princess survives. And the colony accepts it, even facilitates it. Because for the colony, what matters isn't the specific queen, it's the continuity of the system. Most people think of ants as simple creatures, but what we just described is a political succession, with betrayal, selection, and competitive elimination. Not entirely unlike some human situations, when you think about it. But here's what puzzles researchers most. What happens when there are no larvae available to become a queen? When the queen dies without leaving larvae at a stage that can be converted, the colony faces a deadline, a biological deadline. No new queen, no new fertilized eggs. And without fertilized eggs, no new workers. The population begins to decline, slowly, methodically, until the colony simply stops existing. In some ant species, this decline can take months. The colony keeps functioning, working, defending, foraging, even as it slowly dies. Older workers take on the high-risk tasks. Younger ones stay protected longer. It's as if the entire colony knows it's reaching the end and chooses to spend its last energy with something close to dignity. That raises a question biologists still debate today. Does the colony know it's dying? Obviously not the way humans know. But the collective behavior shifts in such an organized way that it's hard not to recognize some kind of systemic response to the approaching end. And there's one documented case that makes this question even harder to dismiss. In an experiment with temnothorax ants, researchers removed the queen from a colony and observed what happened over several weeks. The workers didn't collapse immediately. They reorganized the nest, moved the larvae closer together, changed their patrol patterns. It was as if the colony was preparing for something. And then, in one of the observed colonies, something happened that the researchers didn't expect. One worker, just one, began behaving differently. She stopped foraging. She stayed close to the larvae. She started being fed by the other workers instead of feeding them. Within weeks, her physiology had changed. Ovaries developed. She began laying fertilized eggs. The colony had created, in its own way, a functional new queen, out of an ordinary worker. This shouldn't have been possible in most known species. But it happened. And that kind of biological plasticity, the ability of the system to completely reorganize itself without central instructions, is precisely why ants are studied in some of the world's leading biology laboratories. But the most fascinating detail in this entire story is what happens to the ants who actually knew the queen. Ants have chemical memory. They recognize the queen's pheromone in a way that can persist for weeks after her death. Some workers who had prolonged direct contact with the queen keep behaving as though she's still there, patrolling the spot where she used to rest, responding to the residual chemical trace that lingers on the nest substrate. Is it grief? Probably not in any emotional sense, but the behavior is indistinguishable from searching, and somehow that makes the whole story even more striking. So what really happens when a queen ant dies? It depends on the species, on the size of the colony, on the larvae available, on how quickly the chemical signal fades. But in every case, the colony responds like an organism that wants to survive. No panic, no immediate chaos. A collective stillness that is, at the same time, extraordinary and unsettling. There are ant colonies beneath almost every sidewalk in the world right now. And in some of them, this process is happening as you watch this. A queen who died yesterday. Thousands of ants who don't know yet. A system already, quietly, deciding what comes next. So the next time you see an ant moving alone across the floor, ask yourself, does it still have a queen? Or is it already part of a story no one will ever notice?